All right, guys, today we are coming to you from within the walls of the AirForce Airguns Rapid Air Worx manufacturing facility in Fort Worth, Texas, of which I will show you around a little bit throughout the course of this video. And with me today, I have Ton Jones of AirForce RAW, and he's going to get us through some brand new product for 2024 right after this. AEAC is made possible by Air Venturi, Hawksport Optics, Diana Airguns, FX Airguns, Sabre Tactical, Air Arms, Leapers and UTG Pro, Zan Projectiles, Air Marksman, and Predator JSB Match Diablo. And you guys know the best way to thank them. Okay, Ton, what have we here, sir?
Oh, this is so much happiness.
It looks like it.
This is the RAW Mini.
Okay.
This is all the happiness with a 15-inch barrel. .3625 PSI carbon fiber tank.
Okay.
So what you're seeing is the actual full-size RAW setup, but with a 15-inch barrel, and this barrel is unique. It has a split port barrel. Okay.
So if they don't know the TM1000X, can I grab it?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. So if I'm following you right, that is this in a compact package. So you've taken the receiver and the plenum and all the valving and all the guts from this guy and you've put it in here.
Yes, same
Okay.
regs, same everything.
Gotcha.
Made it more compact.
Long range. How long is the long range?
It's 100 yards.
100 yards. And what are we going to do in the long range?
We are accuracy testing an TM1000X.
So how often do you do that? Is that like a batch testing thing or every once in a while?
No, we test every gun.
Every gun.
Every gun.
Right. Look at this.
Then what we did is with the new port on the bottom of the barrel, we're able to preserve almost as much energy as the full size.
Okay, so you made the transfer port larger so you
Yeah.
can run a smaller barrel
And
have
get
the same power.
almost the same power, just shaved a little bit of the power off, because if we went with the longer barrel, we would have been able to preserve the same amount of energy.
Sure.
But dropping it down, let's say you're around 50 to 55 foot-pounds of muzzle energy with the full-length barrel, but dropping it down to 15 inches, we're down to 40 to 45 foot-pounds of muzzle energy in 22 cal.
Which is still plenty.
Yes, my last grouping, granted I haven't cleaned this. This was the original, this is the setup. This is the one I started testing.
How's it grouping, Sean?
Pretty good. 30s usually group within a ½ inch to a ½ inch.
I need one of these at AEAC. I can work in the rain and in the wind. Do you guys chromium too?
Yes. Yeah. So before we come and do the power testing, the accuracy testing, we power test it, make sure that it's at the exact feet per second that we need with that certain kind of pellet. Once we get that set and dialed correctly, then we'll come out and do the accuracy part.
So just a little tweak into the hammer spring pretty much. And,
Yes.
And you come out this way.
Yeah. And if it's not shooting right on the short yard range, then we know that we need to fix it before we even come out and try it on the 100.
And the short range is how long?
30 yards.
Hey, you got it right on the target.
And you guys test every single gun that leaves here.
Yes, every raw all gets tested extremely well. If it's not grouping within an inch at 100, then it's not going to leave here. That's for sure.
Freaking
Yeah.
sweet.
That's right.
That's what we call stall built right
Yeah,
there, baby.
that's why when you pull it out of the box, it's ready to go. It's ready to
I
go.
love that. I have one of Martin's original HM1000s
Yeah.
in 25 cal, and it's an MOA gun at 150 yards.
Yeah.
It is just amazing.
Oh yeah.
With pellets.
I mean, this one is just hole for hole at 100, which is crazy.
5,000 rounds plus through this, and I still haven't cleaned the barrel.
Okay.
My last 4 mags, chronograph standard deviation over 4 mags, standard deviation of 5. And I'm still shooting right around 851 in 22 cal.
Okay, so what calibers will the Mini be available in?
Right now, 177.22, and we're thinking 25 is coming within the next couple weeks.
Okay, and relative range of power? Low to high?
Low, extreme low, 20. On average, you're looking 40 to 45 foot-pounds muzzle energy in 22 cal.
Okay. Could we run them through the gun to get them familiar? Because they might not know
Oh,
the
yeah.
HM1000X and all the goodies. You've talked about a barrel. You've talked about a dual transfer port. You know,
My pleasure.
yeah, okay.
This is
Let it rip.
my happiness.
What you doing, Corey?
I'm making sure there's no burrs on the end of this probe. I want it to be nice and smooth for the pellet.
That's a bolt probe?
Yes.
What's it for?
This one is for the MicroHunter.
You do this on all of them?
Every one.
So what happens if there's a burr on it?
Then it gets buffed and polished out. Make sure it's nice and clean. Every time.
Of course, you have the adjustable stock. With the setup, any A2 style grip, put on whatever you want. Of course, me and my model friendly hands, I went with the oversized grip. Then you have the M-Lock system where I added Arca rail to mine because most of them do not come, these do not come with the Arca rail on the bottom. You have the M-Lock, this is my attachment I added to it. Then of course I added the Saber Tactical moderator because it literally comes off. This is the end adapter thread for so you put your own moderator on there, whatever you want to put on.
So these will have 1/2 inch UNF threads
Yes.
in the factory. Gotcha.
It is threaded barrel, so you put on your moderator of choice or a thread protector. Leave it how you want. If you want to bark and let everybody know you're having some fun. Adjustable hammer tension right back here. There's a little itty bitty window.
I see that.
That window, take the back of an Allen, put it in there, and you can adjust your hammer tension.
So are these regulated?
Yes, these are regulated.
Just like Big Brother.
Just like the big boy.
Okay.
Regulator set in there. Set from the factory, 145.
Oh, Sean, are those regulators?
Yes, they are.
Could you take us through how one goes together?
Sure.
Talk to me, Johnny.
So I'm screwing in the inlet nozzle at this point. It comes to a stop down there. Then you'll insert your stem. And then you have your disc springs.
How many are in the
For
stack?
this particular regulator, it's 9 in this stack.
So it changes per the gun?
Yes, it does.
Okay. What gun are these regulators going in?
They are going in 22 caliber micros.
And the new
Micro
micro.
And there you go.
That's it?
That's it.
Everything else is done right here. This is your hammer tension. Adjust to tune it to your projectile. Everything is done right in that little itty bitty window. Move it up and down, adjust your hammer tension, tune it to your projectile. So that's how you get your groups. If you're shooting one brand and it's not shooting quite right and you want to adjust it, make your small adjustments here because that's how you, not every gun shoots every ammo the same.
Sure.
So,
Can I ask for them?
Yeah.
What window do you personally like for pellets out of these guns?
I like shooting right about 850. Well, in this one.
So Sean, this rag is showing 165 bar, but that's not what we want.
No, it's set a little too high, so what we're going to do is take it back off and reset it.
All right, man, show us.
Little safety precaution.
So what are you gonna do?
Basically, we're going to hold this stem in place.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it'd help if I put the wrench on it.
Righty tighty.
Lefty loosey. And you're just going to back it off a little bit.
Okay. So you're loosening the pressure on the stack,
Yes.
and that should lower your right pressure.
Yes.
Got it. Oh, so close. So now what?
Just repeat the process until you get the bar you want to get to.
All right. So that's how you set them off from the factory.
Yes.
Neat.
And that's where I like this to be set.
Okay. Can you speak? You touched on the barrel.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about who your barrel manufacturing partner is, and what gets put in these guns?
Lothar Walther, straight from Germany. And out of all of this gun, that is our important part. Everything else here is made right here in the USA.
Hey Luis, can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing, what treatment you're applying to these barrels?
Okay, we drain these barrels. Give it 2 passes. The first pass is to reduce the dimensions right here. So we cut to 628 to 620. So that way we take about 5,000, 6,000. That way the blower stick on the metal, and these ones already the first pass, and we need to give the second pass to give the polish. See, right now is the rough, and we need to give the last pass, leave like this one.
Yeah, it's much smoother here than here.
Yeah, and
So you're preparing them for a coating or a bluing?
it's for blowing right now.
Okay.
And most of these we send to coating, powder coating, and it look more good.
Cool. How many of these will you do in a day?
We give 2 passes. So yesterday I give the first pass, and I make 200. And today go to give the last pass. It's more fast, maybe in 2 hours.
2 hours today. Not as bad
Finish.
today.
Yeah. The hard time is when we reduce the dimension on the barrels. to give this right side.
Yeah, you take that big piece of metal off the
Yeah.
on the first go.
Then the second pass, just polish and give the nice finish and
And you send them out here to get made pretty.
yeah, make pretty for lure and give the gun ready.
Cool. Thanks, Luis. Appreciate that, man.
Okay?
Yeah, this is a polygonal barrel.
Okay.
And this whole block, as you've seen on the factory tour, comes in as a solid block of metal. This comes in solid block of metal. Everything here is built in-house, right here on the property, on this slab.
In Fort Worth.
In Fort Worth.
Not in Dallas.
Not in Dallas.
I messed that up earlier.
It's made in Fort Worth. Everything. This is a happy piece of Texas-made pride.
All right, I have another question.
Yes.
So last year, and you guys can check this out, Ton and I made a video at SHOT Show where they released the Micro, which is even smaller than the Mini, and we'll show you that here in a minute. But I would imagine that you've got some people at home who have purchased the Micro.
Yes.
And they're probably wondering, well, now that I have the Micro, can I turn that into the Mini?
It's a different setup. The Micro has the 3,000 PSI tank. That runs off the HM chassis.
So an HM plenum and block in here,
Yes.
so it's smaller,
Yeah.
smaller lungs.
And it's a different beast. That is for close range. That is small game, bird. That is target. That's more of what we based the new target pistol off of, the field target pistol, which we're going to show you next.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But this is the step in between the target pistol and the Micro. There had to be something else.
Sure. Well, then let me ask, who's your target audience for this?
Still backyard friendly.
Okay.
Someone that doesn't need the full size. This, that still wants to have a compact gun, even truck friendly, that doesn't need to do the extreme long range. That's not looking to reach out 200 plus, even though that Tyler and I from Pyramid decided to reach this out to 300 yards. Me and him, when we tested this, we're hitting steel at 300.
Wow. So is that with slugs, I'm presuming?
No.
That's with pellets?
25-39.
So is this a slug gun and a pellet gun? Like,
Yes.
what can you offer us?
You
up
can
there?
do slug and pellet in this.
What you working on, Michael?
Working on thread taping our gauges for our tanks.
Is this for Air Force or for Rapid Air Worx?
This is for our AirForce line of guns.
And what is the purpose of the tape on the threads?
It is to prevent leaks whenever we do our leak tests.
And what's the leak test process?
Leak test process is to air up to about 2,000 psi, dunk it in a tank of water, and see if any leaks form.
Okay.
We actually took the slug press and made slugs for it when we demoed it and ran both through. But in true R&D fashion, Tyler and I had a little competition because we're not competitive at all.
No.
And decided who could hit the steel first at 300.
Okay.
I
I'm
won.
just amazed you hit it at 300 with pellets.
I won by 2 shots.
Nice job, buddy. Nice job.
Yes, but he hit the 100-yard first. Jerk.
It's all right. Can't win them all.
No.
What you doing now, Michael?
I'm leak testing some valve inserts.
What do you fill it to?
A little over 1,000 psi on the inserts.
And you give it a bath. How long do you wait?
Just long enough to let all the residual bubbles come to the surface.
It'll let you know pretty
Consistent
quick.
flow. Oh, it will. It absolutely will.
No, but this is the in-between between the big boy RAW and the micro.
All right, I have questions on the Mini.
Yes.
So you talked about an Arca rail.
Yes.
I'm curious for them, what's the benefit of having an Arca rail? I'm wondering about if there are magazines, and I would love to see this stock manipulated a little bit.
Yeah,
for these guys.
With the setup, with the Arca rail, I like running this because I run sometimes a bag on the bed of my truck. I run bipod. I also have a stand, a tripod, that I can leave this set up where if
Like
I'm
a
out,
camera tripod.
Yeah, camera tripod that I'll actually leave this set up for when I'm doing bird abatement or rodent abatement at ranches. You don't need a full-size rod to get rodents out of a feed barn.
All right, so if I'm following, you can mount this on a big, robust camera tripod.
Yes.
And that's your foundation for doing your work.
Yes.
You are.
I have
okay.
my bog pods actually come with the Arca rail setup where I slide this in and lock it in, and it's not so heavy where it's knocking off balance. I can leave it and go set up my camera gear and come back and it's still locked into the same position.
Okay. Chris, can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing here?
Right now I'm deburring all the edges because they're rough. Just take the edge off, get it smooth. Each side.
What gun is this that you're working on?
It's the Texan big bore.
Ah. You've done this a few times.
Yeah.
How many of these will you do in a day?
Depending on how much grinding, I can do anywhere from 25 to 40. Woo.
It's amazing that all this finishing is done by hand. It's like an artistry to it.
I'm going to come back up and we'll file these edges. This edge here.
So once you get done with them here, what's the next step?
They go on this stand that's behind me, and then I take them outside and tumble them for about an hour.
Like a tumble polisher type thing?
Yes, sir.
Ah. And then where do they go after you tumble polish them?
I put them in the blaster, and then they get sent out to anodize them.
All right, talk to me about magazine and show them that buttstock moving around a little bit.
Okay, this one you can have, move it out.
Okay, so you control your length of pull.
Yeah, of course my model fingers aren't the best.
Sure. From your bouncing days.
Yeah, from
and your bodyguard protecting days.
Model days of playing with wildlife and playing at bars.
Yep.
And then also it's an ambidextrous. You can take this apart and flip it over to the complete other side. You can take this whole system off and move it to the other side. So if you don't want this on your cheek.
Oh, sure. I'm thinking, why would you want to do that? But duh.
Yeah, because you could take this whole thing and flip it and just mirror the whole system.
Okay.
Adjust your cheek riser up.
Okay, so you can get really cozy on this.
Yeah, and adjust the length of pull. You have to adjust it because it actually locks down with an Allen, so you're not pushing. We did this because sometimes they start to wiggle after a while.
They always wiggle.
Not with this. It's actually locked in with an Allen. So you set it and lock it, and that's where it sits.
Okay.
And usually the one shooter that's shooting it doesn't move it once they have it set to the one position they want. they lock it in place and that's where it stays.
Okay.
I locked it where I like it, and I haven't moved it since the day I got it.
Okay. Magazine?
Magazine, depending on the caliber.
So it comes with a magazine.
Oh yeah, comes with a magazine.
Okay.
You're not, and you can also, there should be some extra magazines coming in the future that have some little inside tip. There might be some extended mags in the near future.
Nice, all right. You know, I just thought of something to ask. Trigger. Can you speak to us about the trigger a little bit? Because I know in the HM1000X, this is a match trigger. This is made for winning competitions. So what did we do over here?
Same trigger.
Okay, perfect.
It is happiness.
Oh, where are you going with those, Chris?
Head into the tumbler.
You just finished grinding them out?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go check out the tumbler. That's about a 4-ounce 2-stage. All right, cool. Yeah. Hey, you know, so maybe as long as you've got the HM1000, do we want to, can we run them through this briefly?
Yeah.
Trade?
Oh, yeah. Okay, in the LRT stock, there's no window in the back. You can actually take your Allen key and adjust right here on the back, and this is your hammer spring tension. That is the biggest part.
Russell, what is it that you're working on here?
I'm building trigger assemblies for the Texans today.
Can you take us through your thought process or what it is that you're working on?
So at this moment, I'm dropping in the striker releases.
And what's the function of the striker release?
It does exactly what its name suggests. It releases when you pull the trigger hits the sear, and the sear pulls that striker release, allowing that striker to fall, hit the bolt, and allows the gun to fire.
Cool, that makes sense. Well, what are these made out of?
I think it's aircraft steel. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to get with Bill or Tyler to find that out.
All right, it's got kind of a cool dark coating on it.
Yes. So the coating itself is a moly coat, which is an anti-frictional coating. It allows it so that it's an anti-frictional coating, so it allows it to move without binding.
But it's a dry coat.
It's a dry coat. Yes.
Interesting. Like I know what moly is.
Yeah. So, but it's a dry coat.
Every time I touch moly, it gets all over everything really
quickly
and easily. But this is different.
I mean, it'll still get all over you.
Okay.
But it's great because it allows the parts to move freely without binding and without filling the trigger assembly with oil. Because coming from the repair tech side, if you fill it with oil, everything it mixes with that moly and creates a real gunky paste.
Not good for triggers.
No, not good for triggers at all.
Bird's eye view. Calibers available. Power range.
177, 22, 25,
Okay.
30 cal, 35 on request.
Okay. Lothar polygonal.
Lothar polygonal barrel.
Okay. Same size bottle, looks like?
Same size bottle. Everything else. This system has the single port barrel, not the dual port.
Okay.
But dual ports are coming soon to everything.
Okay.
But there's something that I didn't mention.
What?
What you have in your hand, these all came with, you had to choose left or right.
Are you talking about cocking?
Cocking lever. These
I see it.
are ambidextrous.
I see that ambidextrous cocking.
So
See the cutaway.
you can change it on your own. And that's coming soon to all rods.
Excellent. Excellent choice, sir.
Yes.
What's this?
That's the moderator.
Talk to me. Talk to me, Goose.
Okay.
Because that's a big difference between
Yes.
these two guns.
And on the newer RAWs,
Tyler, what you working on, man?
Hey, how are you? I'm working on what we call can tubes. So these are the suppressor of your rifle. They're made out of 6061 aluminum. And yeah, basically we got a whole operation going on here from start to finish. So basically what we got over here is a bar feeder. So this will automatically pick up the bars.
Show me.
So
bars.
It's completely automated, so I don't have to touch it. Once I get it going, it'll automatically load by itself and keep on running until I tell it to stop. Going down the line.
Oh, I see. In here.
Yep.
Got it.
And then they come through the machining process. This is what they look like when they get done. Put our threads, vent holes, a good quality surface finish. And then as we come along this end, they're going to come out into what we call the water slide.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to fall down in that water there. It keeps them from banging into each other real hard.
Show us one time.
It's about to go right now.
It is?
Yep, on its own.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Can I help it?
It's coming right.
you come with a choice of, you can have the moderator or just the threaded barrel. So this is the moderator. Everything else is pretty much identical except the barrel. Mm-hmm. No split port yet, but it comes in LRT stock, chassis.
When you say chassis, you mean like?
That's also an aftermarket stock and chassis setup, but it comes in where we don't have, this is the actual standard chassis system. That is the standard chassis this comes in. You can
get this gun in this chassis system with the M-lock on the side.
The beautiful part about the system, mm-hmm. if you have this gun, mm-hmm. you could take this gun out of this wood stock and put it in this chassis.
And basically from here is where I will take them out, clean them off, wipe them down, visually inspect them, measure them, anything that I need to do before they go to the deburr guy.
And so they put them in the boxes there?
Yep, so I'll usually put them on this cart, let them dry out on their own for a while, then when I come in the morning, I'll spray them off, wipe them down, look at them, and then I'll put them in the boxes. And then they are ready to be shipped off, anodized, and sent to you guys. Put on a gun and sent to you guys.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thank you. Yes, sir.
The good thing about the RAW system is when you have the chassis, and let's say one day you want to shoot the laminate stocks, order a stock, pull it out, drop it in. Let's say you have a laminate and you want to shoot something more tactical or truck gun style, pull it out, drop it in.
Okay.
It is that simple, that easy.
Okay.
And then now for the sears. Drop it in a certain way, make sure to click.
What's the job of this sear?
So, let me drop in a transfer lever here, and I can show you how that works real quick.
Okay. So,
drop in that transfer lever. So what the sear does, get a good angle there?
Yep.
All right, so what that sear does is when you hit that trigger, release the safety. But when you hit the trigger, that sear is the connecting point between the trigger and the striker release.
Okay.
So during operation, there's going to be there's spring tension on all three of these parts. The spring tension on the striker release is what's keeping basically everything pinned back. So once you pull that trigger, it hits that sear.
It releases everything.
And releases everything.
Ah. And gun goes boom.
And the gun goes boom. And that's the best part, is when a gun goes boom.
When it goes boom. Okay, so that is a hunk of newness right there. And this is what we debuted last year at SHOT Show, so you can check that video out to learn more, but we'll touch on this too here in just a minute.
This is a lot of fun.
Okay, it looks like a little bit of fun.
This came out of a lot of requests from customers.
Okay. This thing looks legit.
It is a lot of happiness. I mean, once we broke out the micro, we had customers asking for that and something they could use for field target.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And same idea, 15-inch barrel, but they wanted the larger feeding port for single load feeding ports.
So that they can get their hands in there and do what they got to do.
Yeah, because let's be realistic, my fingers aren't fitting in there.
Yeah, you got fat thumbs.
Yeah, and
what's working on this morning, Sean?
This is a 22 caliber MicroHunter.
And how long will it take you to fully assemble one?
From this point, probably about 30 to 40 minutes.
Can you kind of walk us through what it is you're doing as you go?
Right now, I'm just installed the bolt, and I'm going to install the charging handle.
And what are you putting on it then?
That is gear grease.
Gear grease.
Yeah. Martin recommended.
Okay. Straight from Theoben.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just 11 and turn it in and that's done.
Okay.
What's this you're working on now?
This is called a dog screw. It's what catches the hammer and brings it back.
Is that the hammer? Oop.
Oh,
is that the hammer there?
That is.
Bad boy right there.
it is a micro 15-inch barrel. Nothing set up in the front, just all decked out, threaded end cap.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to run a moderator, you can, but this is everything set up exactly for field target.
What does that mean to the?
There is foot-pounds of energy restrictions.
Okay.
Depending on what class you shoot, there is restrictions. I'm not sure of all of them because there's, I mean, these guys are serious shooters.
Sure.
I mean,
we've seen them.
They have attention spans that I don't have.
Yeah.
I mean, they have patience. They
even have special clothing.
Yeah. Let's be realistic. I wear black because when I spill, I want it to hide.
Yeah. Okay.
They were
and black is slimming.
Yeah. I turn sideways, I disappear. Let's be realistic because I'm just that sexy.
There you are.
Yeah. But these guys get really serious. So we got with Cameron Kernan and discussed with him and Jeff Cloud what they would like in a field target pistol.
Can you take us through the gun? Like you mentioned that the barrels are different. There's a 15-inch barrel versus the smaller one. on the micro, but like maybe talk to us. Bottles,
Yeah,
regulated, hammer spring, just all that. The guts.
Yeah,
Let's get into the guts.
And this is the side lever finishing cover.
Oh yeah, I got them last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they're hanging up.
Never mind then.
It can be a little tricky to install. You want to make sure you get it straight. We're going to apply a little gear grease to the inside.
Slick is good.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was up there.
Don't you hate it when that happens? Yeah.
It is all special built for their system.
Okay.
It is completely different internal guts that is specially designed, specially built. Talking 210 to 480cc tank.
Okay. Calibers?
177 and 22.
Okay, stops there.
Actually, right now, the field target pistol is only 177 and 20. 22 may be coming. May be coming.
All right, so they're always asking me about 20 caliber.
Yes.
And I don't hear much about that these days.
It is
so
20.
This is available in a 20.
Yeah, right now it's only 177 and 20. 22 may be coming.
Gotcha.
So it is available in 20 cal.
Okay. And what's the fill capacity on the bottle?
3,000 psi.
3,000 psi fill. Okay.
Yes, and it is surgical accurate. The first one that went out to Cameron, he got it that morning and won.
Wow.
He had the gun for 2 hours and got familiar with it and whooped some ass.
Do we know if is this barrel the polygonal or the match
Yeah,
grade?
it's polygonal.
Polygonal, okay.
Yeah, that's the polygonal.
Cool.
It's all the
Little
barrels.
baby polygonal. I like
Yeah,
it.
it's all these barrels are identical all the way across.
All right. Can you talk to us about the receiver? The machining up here, what's that for? This grip is pimping. Maybe
yeah.
hit the trigger a little bit.
Yeah, it's same exact trigger that is in all of the RAWs.
Okay.
It is, this trigger is the same as that trigger, which is the same as that trigger.
Two-stage match grade ultra light.
Yeah. Every
Nice
single
big blade.
trigger is, every trigger in every RAW is identical. Every barrel in every RAW is identical. What makes these different is what kind of bottle you put in, what the reg is set at. The internals on this one is different because this is set specifically for field target.
The power levels of
The
field
power
target that you
levels,
mentioned.
how much vibration is set in there. John did his voodoo that he does with Jeff Cloud and Cameron Kernan went through and did some crazy magic where I said, know what, I need to go have a cigar because know what.
So Russell, what are you doing to these frames?
All right, so frames are getting run through the laser for all their markings, patent numbers, warnings, serials. getting them ready to go over to triggers.
Do you have a finished product you can show us and show us the laser markings on it and kind of take us through it?
That is what, at the end of the day, the finished laser will look like.
Those guys went crazy scientific, and I'm made for destruction, not for that part of the business. When they were done, they said, hey, can you shoot this? We shot on the range in here probably the most amazing groups I've shot in years. Then I grabbed it and started hitting steel at 100 with it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Ting!
That's what it was. The first couples I shot it, and I was like, it's hitting dirt. What's the deal with this? And they started laughing. They're all, Ton, this is a field target gun. It's only made for like 12 to 20 foot-pounds. And I said, all right, so extreme hold. I was aiming toward the trees and setting it down range, and then you heard ding.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And everybody started laughing.
Wait for it. So I noticed the receivers are machined differently on the top.
Yes.
This looks like more of a hunter class receiver with.
Yeah, this is actually taken after the original TM. That's why if you look at the side, it's the TM setup.
Mm-hmm.
The original Theoben RAW, and this has the dovetail. That is the Picatinny.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to swap with me? Maybe talk a little bit about the micro?
I've had so much fun with this gun. Don't get me wrong, this is great. I've sat in the backyard with this and shot grasshoppers and tarantulas.
That's hilarious. All right, so if this is for Field T, who's your customer for that?
This is a lot of people like this, and I've sold this to more ranchers and bird abatement people than you can ever imagine.
I love the size of it.
It is
so convenient and light and rigid. Like that thing is like a little tank.
It is solid. I mean, this thing is solid.
I'm going to apply a little oil to the hammer. Not a lot, you just need a little light coat.
Is that the mobile one?
Yes, it is. Another
secret sauce.
Martin recommended.
Yeah. If Martin says it's good, it's good.
Right, now we're going to install the trigger. Just a little love tap. And she's ready to go into the vise.
Cool, let's vise it.
People were asking for a more compact version. They didn't need a whole bunch of power. They need something they can go out and just have fun with, playing with. Large shot count, and you can get 3 to 4 mags when you're stretching it at 3,000 psi fill. Let's be realistic. You're not going to get 8 mag fills out of this.
No, but is the micro 177, 22, and 25 like the mini?
It's 177, 22, 25, yeah.
Okay, and what's up with the barrel here? That's
a shroud.
That is a shroud.
That is a shroud.
So that helps keep things quiet?
Yes.
And then did you do the 1/2-inch UNF thread?
Yes, this is a thread protector on the end.
Don't undo it. We're going to get in trouble with YouTube again. It's okay, buddy. And same as this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There is a thread protector and a shroud here.
All right.
And this acts as an expansion chamber.
Okay.
So what this happened, also ambidextrous now. That is a step up from last year. If you
so
look,
both the micro and the mini are going to have
yes,
ambidextrous.
if you see that window on the back, it's ambidextrous.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So,
And this all works the same as you showed me on the Mini?
it works exactly the same.
All right.
And what we found out after SHOT Show last year is I came back to work and a couple of my buddies that are ranchers called me. They're all, would this be good for our feed barns?
Of course.
Next thing you know, they're like, hey, come out to the ranch. Dropping thermals on these, popping rats at night.
Oh, cool.
Getting rid of
Super cool.
birds that were destroying a lot of their feed barns, contaminating their feed bins.
Yeah, pooping in all the food.
And
that ain't good for anybody.
No, it was insane. And that's because if, let's say they have a shot that missed, it's not so powerful, it's going to puncture one of the sides of their silos.
Yeah, sure.
It's not going to damage. So this became the rancher's best friend, the truck gun.
I can see that. And,
And
they're gonna dig this stuff too.
Oh, then once they found out that came out, they're like, oh, we have something even better for if we're inside the actual stalls and silos themselves.
Biggest thing is clarity. You want everything to come out nice and clear, crisp and clean. Our biggest thing is our AirForce logo. You want that line to set all the way through.
What line? Oh, I see it. I see it now.
That very fine line that goes to the
Yeah.
AirForce logo.
Cool.
Then the model number, it's got to be clear. Made in USA, big things, but clean and clear. Warning labels, straight, clean, clear. Got to make sure they know how the safety works. Serial numbers and all the patents and patent pendings.
Why you put the patent numbers on there too?
Yes, sir.
How long does it take this frame to go through the laser?
It usually depends. Today, they're taking about 9 minutes for all 7 to get run.
Okay. I love this too. You can put a little sling on here.
Yep, single point sling.
Yep.
So this, between the pistol, the micro, and the mini, this has completed the family of RAW.
It seriously has. Let me ask you the when question. So the micro is available now. So they're probably wondering when they'll have access to the new Field Target pistol and the new Mini.
Pistol and now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
So
can
this
call
stuff's
it.
shipping to your
Yeah, you
retail partners now.
Yeah, they can
Good
call and order it
deal.
now. They've already started shipping. People can call and order that now.
Right, now we're going to install the barrel. In our completely scientific way of measuring.
Sure.
And you'll put a little bit more grease on your screws.
Just so they come out easy.
Yeah, so they won't bond with the barrel.
It's amazing the detail that goes into the assembly of these things. So before we move on to the Talon Bolt carbine, the mini arrow gun, holy doo-doo. Is there anything else you want to share on these guys?
It's just so much fun. I've been battling with Shooter 1721 nonstop
Mr.
all
Rick
last
Ream?
year. And know what? It's only going to get worse. It's on, Rick.
Push the bolt forward, go the bolt in the front.
Here you are. Wondering where you went, you little dirty dog. What you got there?
Look what I got. The new Talon Bolt
You're being
carbine.
naughty.
Talon Bolt carbine.
All right, let me know if I'm doing this properly, Russell.
All right.
So,
Oh, yeah. I know this one. This was the This was before the full size. This is the one I set up.
Look how little that is. Dude, I want one of these things. But this is kind of scaring me, man. What the heck do you got going on there?
This is so much happiness. This is fun and usefulness all in one itty bitty package. The Talon Bolt carbine.
The carbine. It's a baby Talon Bolt.
It is so much happiness.
Happiness. You're so much happiness.
This thing is so great. God. Launched the Talon Bolt last year.
Right, which you can catch in that SHOT Show video.
Yes.
I'll link it in the description of this one.
But not everybody needs something that goes over 400 feet per second.
Right, with an arrow.
Yeah, let's be realistic. We discussed it last year, which catching that video, most people hunt and have hunted for hundreds of years with arrows that went 100 to 120 feet per second.
Right.
So I wanted to have more fun and increase the longevity of the bolt.
Chris, how do you know when it's done?
It does one pass down and one pass back. And I'll cut it off and check, make sure that there's no marks or anything, and then move on to the nut.
We took the same carbon bolt style, shrunk it down a little bit, made it go around 220 to 240 feet per second.
Okay.
Added the same valve style where you can adjust the valve orifice.
Yeah, to control your arrow speed.
2000 PSI fill.
Okay.
Itty bitty compact size.
This thing is so small.
And look at that design on that rail.
Beautiful. All machined aluminum.
All machined here in Fort Worth. And I went out to the field to see how it ran.
Cocking with the bolt forward.
Yep.
Put our arrow right down in here.
All right. That's good. Now bring the bolt back. That's good. Safety's automatic. Push forward to fire.
Ready? Oh, am I?
Safety forward.
Safety forward.
Oh! Hey, you got it right on target.
Look at that lung shot or heart shot right there.
Go, Michael.
Let's do this again.
Torched it. Were you shooting like through the bag?
You're lucky.
Through the deer bag?
You're lucky I came back today because I've been playing with this for 7-8 months now.
Uh-huh.
This is so much fun, bro.
All right, let's create some context and let's build a foundation. So if they're a bow hunter,
yes,
and they're used to a crossbow, if they're used to a longbow, if they're used to a compound bow, what power range and distance are they used to playing in? And then where do they step when they move into something like this?
This is the happy medium between compound and crossbow.
Okay.
You're still extremely lethal at safe, effective archery and crossbow ranges, which is saying 35 to 40 yards is a safe, ethical hunting range.
All right.
Target range, we're doing shots 40, 50 yards.
Corey, can you take us through what you're doing?
Yeah, we are building some Talon P carbines today. We'll start with the pre-assembly.
Start with the what?
The pre-assembly.
All right.
How do you know how tight to make it?
So it has a setting in the bolt where it'll actually bottom out because they're cut to a certain depth. So it pretty much is always going to go to that position.
Okay.
And now we're just going to snug these up. You don't want them really tight because you want the customer to be able to take it off when they go to assemble the tank. Now we're going to get one of the barrels. You always want to check the barrel over. These have all been pre-checked before and assembled, but we do one little final check, make sure there's nothing wrong with the crown, the chamber going in.
What do you look for in the crown and in the chamber?
So on the crown, you'll be able to actually tell if it's got any nicks in it, if there's any kind of damage anywhere on that. It has to be absolutely perfect. Same with this end, you'll be able to tell right away. So these all get cleaned after they get back from the bluer. And as they're cleaning them and going through them, they actually check them over really well. You know, with flashlight, sometimes we'll use a bore scope if they find anything that looks suspicious.
So I'm hearing several QC checks along the way.
Along the way.
What's that you're putting on there now?
So this is actually a O-ring lubricant. This is going to help the bolt slide a little bit. Anything with the O-ring, you want to put just a little bit of lube on it. That way when you install the bolts, it moves freely.
Okay, so let me ask. So I'm not a bow hunter.
Yeah.
However, my common sense tells me that there's a lot more stability and precision and less overall movement around through the firing cycle with something like this than a bow. Am I wrong?
There's a lot less going on in this because the air is traveling from the back down the front and the projectile is actually being pushed from the front.
Can I take an arrow out?
Yes.
Okay. This is made of
carbon fiber.
And the tips that this will accept are?
Is 100 and 125 grain. And you could do broadheads, you could do mechanicals.
Now we're going to slide this in. Now we install the screws and we just snug them up, and then we go back with a torque wrench and make sure they're all set to 10 inch-pounds.
Okay. So this first step, just kind of bring it together.
Yeah.
And you worry about the torque later.
Yeah.
You've done this before.
Oh yeah. Thousands of these. Plus everything gets a final check again after you build it. Final check before you box it. You want to make sure the gun is working freely and smoothly.
Lots of eyeballs.
Lots of eyeballs.
And that thing is screaming still with a 125 at 220 feet per second.
Okay, and Big Brother, the Talon Bolt?
Yes.
Is what?
420 plus.
420 plus.
Well, 400 plus depending on the size and shape of your projectile on the tip.
Powerful.
Yes.
Very powerful. Okay, okay. All right.
And this is just so much.
So those because I was doing
Get that dirty critter.
Oh, man.
You get him.
First shot was a hard shot.
Comes up just a little bit, it'll be right in the heart. Oh wow.
Yeah, I'll take a long shot.
Now long shot still 3 minutes and he's down. One more.
It's a lot of fun.
So what's it like? We can't shoot it in here, but what's a demo? How does this work? Like, can we indoor demo this so they get an idea of how it works? So that's it. That's your loading. And can you hang it upside down? The arrow stays in there. Okay. That's cool, dude.
Glow in the dark vanes.
What's the price point of this?
Smart people.
Smart people. What's the price point of this? All right. I'll put it up on the screen. If you could just write it and email it to me, that'd be great.
Yeah. I just demo and destroy.
What a nice finish it looks on there. I get it now, man. Okay, so how many shots are they getting with this? Does it come with everything they see here? Can you speak to that some?
You can scope as extra. I think the quiver comes in the kit. But right now, with the way it sits, you're getting at max over 220 feet per second. You're getting about 10 shots with the larger orifice.
You're good for the day with one fill, is what I'm
It
getting
is. Oh yeah, and it is lethal. I mean, I've taken hogs, plenty of hogs.
I can imagine.
And the biggest hog I've taken so far has only been about 260 pounds, but it did the job and it did it effectively. It was.
Do they come with arrows and all
yes.
What are you testing for there?
So this is actually for the power adjustment screw.
Mm-hmm.
So this little screw is what allows you to turn the gun power up. Adjust the spring tension is what it is. And we set these all at a standard 5.
Okay, right in the middle.
Yep. And then you want to check the gun over, make sure everything works freely. Make sure that as you're cocking it, it's going smooth, because there are children that shoot them as well, you know, youth groups and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So you don't want a bolt that's like, you know, gotta
hard.
real hard, yeah. There's a lot of ROTC guys that use our guns and stuff.
Oh. Does it hurt them to dry fire them like that?
No, on these here it's not so bad because the bolt's only going so far. Now, you never want to do that on a Texan.
Sure.
Texan. So with these, it's okay.
The sledgehammer.
Yeah. So with these ones, it's fine. There's no damage, no foul.
Comes with 3 arrows, and then you can add on packs.
A pack. What's a pack?
6.
6. And does it come with this mounting apparatus here, or is that an add?
I think you could buy the quivers an add-on.
Okay. I think that was the case at SHOT last year.
Yeah, the quivers an add-on.
Right. This trigger, is this like
the standard trigger system that comes in all of the utility line of air guns,
which is very nice if you're not used to it.
It doesn't suck.
It's I don't know if it's a match trigger, but if it's not, it's right there.
It doesn't suck. I mean, safety.
Chris, dude, this is like the coolest thing I've ever seen. What the heck is this thing doing?
All right, so we're working with a wire EDM here, and what happens is we have this little 10,000 copper wire, brass wire, and electrical current gets fed through it, and the arc of that electrical current actually erodes and cuts out our trigger piece.
What the heck? Can you lift that up off of there so we can see that up close? That is insane.
It's just a magnet.
So you put a block of whatever this metal is in there. What is it?
It's blue tempered spring steel.
Blue tempered spring steel. And how long will this take to cut all those little trigger pieces out of it?
So all of these, and there's actually 8
in each one.
In each one.
So it cuts them, and then it kind of comes back and it slices them long ways.
And my cut time was 28 hours for that run.
What the heck? That is so cool. And then I saw them coating these, or they coat them with some kind of moly.
Yes, so we're dry moly coating them, so they're maintenance free for the rest of their life. In fact, if someone were to oil them, we would have to clean them off and recoat them because it will undo the moly coating that's on.
So it messes it up. So don't squirt oil in your AirForce trigger.
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So cool. Okay.
But
Couple
that.
of pounds.
Feel that. Feel that. Oh.
All right, so let's see. We'll show these guys.
Yeah, I got to do the safety off.
Oh, where's that? Oh yeah, forward.
Forward safety.
The safe. Okay, so there's my take up first stage. That felt about a 3-pound trigger.
Yeah, it's
super clean.
And
so you're not moving off target during that shot.
And it's auto. Every time you cock it, watch that safety. That safety resets every time.
I like it. I like it. What you doing, Michael?
I'm putting these tanks in our tent press so that I can clamp them down, tighten them down to 35 foot-pounds. This mount here prevents our gauges or nipples from being scratched.
Don't want your nipples scratched.
Absolutely.
And so, if they're new to PCPs and they're looking at aero guns, how is this bottle filled? In other words, can they take their Sears Craftsman compressor or their Cobalt compressor in their garage and fill it?
No. Those compressors usually max out at 150 PSI, even for your top of the line Lowe's, Home Depot, pancake compressors.
And this requires?
Minimum of 2,000 PSI to shoot this.
So we're filling that from?
Scuba tanks, which this is where these guns excel. Because now you can actually go to your scuba places or your paintball places and use your scuba tanks to fill this, because we're not at 3,000 PSI anymore.
So is the tape just there to protect it on the way to the finisher?
Yes, sir.
Pretty much?
Yeah, because these hit right on the edges, and they don't want it to scratch them.
Sure.
We're running 2,000 PSI max fill.
Okay.
So you can use your aluminum 80s and get multiple fills on your aero gun.
Can you hand pump that?
Yes, you
At
can.
2,000 PSI, I would think.
And
that's
with the small tank,
not too terrible.
It's actually not bad, but I'm built for comfort, not for exercise.
Yeah, right.
So it is possible. And
Pull back, there we go. Go along.
boom!
He's a pro.
It's not unbearable. And once you shoot it down to 10 shots, it's not difficult to get it back up.
Wow.
Yeah, this is happiness.
I love this. And this is available.
And hang it in the tree.
I love that too. Super cool. I'll hang that in my bedroom.
That's...
Ton's got to go because you have a 4-hour podcast in front of you in a
Yes.
little bit. Man, dude, thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure.
Likewise, and I'm sure that they appreciate you very much.
We're hunting this year.
We are?
We're hunting.
Come to Florida.
And we're eating it.
We'll shoot some dragons, man.
I'm cooking.
Bring it. Thank you,
Deal,
brother.
brother.
Good luck in your podcast.